Hi everyone, in today's video lesson we'll be talking about solving rationals. Specifically, we'll be discussing how to solve rational equations and rational inequalities, as well as how to solve word problems involving rationals. First, let's start with solving rational equations. So to solve rational equations, you first have to identify their LCD, then multiply each term to the LCD in order to eliminate the denominators. Next, we can solve our equation. You may also um, make sure of your answer through checking by evaluating your original rational equation using the solution that you have solved. Let's have 2 over x minus 2 equal to 5 over x minus 1. So to solve this, we'll find the LCD by identifying the denominators, which are x minus 2 and x minus 1. So we can factor them to find the LCD. But as you will notice, x minus 2 and x minus 1 are non-factorable. So that means they themselves are already the factors. And in your LCD, if there are no common factors, your LCD will simply be the factors multiplied to each other. So that means it's x minus 2 times x minus 1. And this is what we will use to eliminate the denominators from the rational equation through multiplication. In multiplying them, we'll start with the first rational expression, 2 over x minus 2 times the LCD. And to multiply, we can simply cancel the common factors, x minus 2 and x minus 2. And we will be left with the original numerator, 2 times the numerator times the factor that was not cancelled, which is x minus 1, equal to 5 over x minus 1 times the LCD. And again, we can cancel the common factors, x minus 1. And we will have the original numerator 5 times the factor that was not cancelled, x minus 2. Then, we can simplify that to solve for our x. 2 times x minus 1 is 2x minus 2 equals to 5 times x minus 2 is 5x minus 10. If your equation results to an equation whose highest exponent of the variable is 1, then that means it is a linear equation. And to solve that, we'll just isolate x on one side of the equation and then the constant on the other side. So that means by transposition, we can transpose 5x and negative 2. And our equation will be 2 minus 5x equal to negative 10 plus 2. And simplifying, this is 5x. Simplifying, you'll have negative 3x equal to negative 8. And since you still have a coefficient of negative 3 for x, we can divide both sides of the equation by negative 3. So that this will be cancelled and you'll have the solution as x equal to negative 8 divided by negative 3, which will give us positive 8 over 3. So this is our answer for number 1. Another example. Let's say we have 1 over x plus 3 plus 2 over x equal to negative 3 over x squared plus 3x. Again, determine the denominators. We have x plus 3, x, and x squared plus 3x. So factoring them, we know that x plus 3 can no longer be factored. So the factor itself is just x plus 3. And then for x, it's just x. And for x squared plus 3x, we know that this can be factored using the common monomial factor. And the factors are x times x plus 3. And you will see that we have here common factors. So the common factors will just be grouped together. And on our LCD, these common factors will just be represented as 1. So x times x plus 3 will be our LCD. And that will be used to eliminate your denominators. Multiplying 1 over x plus 3 to the LCD, cancel the common denominator, x plus 3. So we'll just have 1 times the factor that was not cancelled, x, plus 2 over x times the LCD. This will give us 2 times the factor that was not cancelled is x plus 3, equal to negative 3 over x squared plus 3x. Since we know that the factor of this is x and x plus 3, that means we can cancel both x and x plus 3. So you will just be left with negative 3. Now that our denominators are removed, we can simplify. So 1 times x is simply x, plus 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is 6, equal to negative 3. And again here, our highest exponent is 1. So it is a linear equation, so we can isolate x on one side. That means we have to transpose 6 on the other side of the equation, and you'll get x plus 2x equal to negative 3 minus 6, which can be simplified to 3x equal to negative 9. And since your x still has a coefficient, we can divide both sides to its coefficient 3. So that this will be cancelled, and you'll have x is equal to negative 9 divided by 3, which will give us negative 3. And this is our final answer. For the next example, let's say you have x plus 2 over x minus 2 equal to 2x plus 4 over x plus 1. Again, determine your denominators and factor them. We have x minus 2 and x plus 1. Both of our denominators are non-factorable, so your LCD will just be the factors multiplied to themselves. So x minus 2 times x plus 1. Multiply x plus 2 over x minus 2 to the LCD. So cancel the common denominators, x minus 2 and x minus 2. And you'll just have the original numerator, x plus 2, times the factor that was not cancelled, x plus 1, equal to 2x plus 4 over x plus 1 divided by the LCD. So x plus 1 will be cancelled, and you'll be left with the original numerator 2x plus 4 times the factor that was not cancelled from your LCD, x minus 2. After that, simplify. So x plus 2 times x plus 1 will give us x squared plus x plus 2x plus 2. And then on the other side, this will give us 2x squared minus 4x plus 4x minus 8. So simplify by combining like terms. X squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 2x squared minus 8. You will notice here that our highest exponent is 2. That means it is a quadratic equation. And if it is a quadratic equation, to solve for the value of x, you have to put all the terms on one side of the equation and equate it to 0. So you'll just have x squared plus 3x plus 2 transpose 2x squared. It will be negative 2x squared, and negative 8 will become positive, equal to 0. Simplify by combining like terms. X squared plus negative 2x squared, that is negative x squared. And 3x has no common factor, so we'll just copy. Then positive 2 plus positive 8, that is positive 10, equal to 0. To solve for quadratic equations, we can use factoring or quadratic formula. So let's try solving using factoring. Since we have here a quadratic trinomial and the coefficient of x squared is negative 1, we can try using grouping. So that's done by multiplying the coefficient of x squared, which is negative 1, and the constant. And it will give us negative 10. Then find two numbers that when you when you multiply, it will give us negative 10, but when added, it will give us positive 3. And the two numbers are positive 5 and negative 2. So we can use that to group our equation. So we'll have negative x squared plus 5x minus 2x plus 10 equal to 0. So the middle term 3 is separated using 5 and negative 2. Then after that, we can group it by two terms. Then we'll use CMF. So we can factor out negative x. So negative x times negative x squared divided by negative x is x. And 5x divided by negative x is negative 5. For the second group, we can factor out negative 2. And you'll be left with negative 2x divided by negative 2 is x, and 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5, equal to 0. Therefore, our factors are negative x minus 2 times x minus 5, equal to 0. And to get the solutions, just separate the factors and equate them to 0. So this is negative x minus 2 equal to 0 and x minus 5 equal to 0. So it will give us negative x equal to positive 2 divided by negative 1. So x is equal to negative 2. And then for the other factor, just transpose negative 5 and you'll have x is equal to 5. And so these are our solutions. Negative 2 and 5. You may also use the quadratic formula. So if you want to use the quadratic formula, we'll just use the formula x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. To solve using the quadratic formula, just substitute the values. So we'll have x is equal to negative b. b is the coefficient of x, that is 3. So negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is the coefficient of x squared, negative 1 times c, the constant 10, all over 2a. So that's 2 times negative 1. And simplifying, you'll have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared is 9, minus 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, times 10, that is negative 40. All over 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And you'll have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus negative 40 is 49, all over negative 2. So this can still be simplified to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 49 is 7 over 2. So our x sub 1 can be solved using addition. So that's negative 3 plus 7 over 2. Negative 2. So this is 4 over negative 2, which will give us negative 2. And then for the second solution, you can get that by subtraction. Negative 3 minus 7 over negative 2. Negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10. Divided by negative 2, this is positive 5. And you will notice that whichever method you try to use, you'll arrive with the same answer. This lesson can be applied on problems involving work problems or proportions, even velocity problems, and many more. So let's try solving real-life situations that can apply solving rational equations. Let's say you have Mario can paint the garage in 10 hours and Louis can do the same job in 15 hours. How long will it take if the two of them work together? So this problem here is an example of a work problem. So to solve this, first you have to represent the problem using a rational equation. So it says in here that Mario can paint the garage in 10 hours. So that means one garage can be painted by Mario by 10 hours. And Louis can do the same job in 15 hours. So that means Louis can paint one garage in 15 hours. Now the question is, how long will it take if the two of them work together? So that means if they combine working in one garage, so that means so the operation is addition, how long will it take for them to finish one garage? So that is one garage over how many hours? So this is already your rational equation. And to solve for this, the same method as we did during the past examples, just find the LCD. So our LCD is found by factoring your denominator. So that's 10, 15, and x. So 10 can be factored using 2 times 5. 15 is 3 times 5. Well, x is just x. So we have a common factor of 5. Therefore, your LCD is 5 times 2 times 3 times x, which is 5 times 2 is 10 times 3, that's 30. So 30x is our LCD. And we will use that to eliminate the denominator. 1 over 10 times 30x will give us 3x. And 1 over 15 times 30x will give us 2x, equal to 1 over x times 30x is 30. So simplifying this, you'll have 3x plus 2x, which is 5x, equal to 30. Then divide both sides by 5. So that this will be cancelled. So our x is 30 over 5, which is 6. So that means if they work together, they can finish the job in 6 hours.